Coming up on this edition of News You Can Use, see how Blair Mill Elementary School is making the colors of the rainbow with their Acceptance Day, learn how Keith Valley Middle School brought in a familiar green friend, and check out our newest segment, Sondor Spotlight. All these stories and more coming up on News You Can Use. Hello, and welcome to this edition of News You Can Use. I'm your host, Charlie Schultz. Let's get started. Cooking as a family or with friends and loved ones is a way to bring everyone together. To be able to share a culture and heritage through food is a communal and binding thing in almost every place in the world. Every year, Pennypack Elementary School celebrates Acceptance Day with a focus on diversity and culture. This year's theme was, "What's on your plate?"
Acceptance Day is an annual event here at Pennypack. Every year we spend one full day talking about diversity and celebrating our differences and similarities. Today we decided to make our whole theme called What's on Your Plate, talking about the diversity of food and culture around the world. One of the things that we're focusing on, we're having some fun food workshops.
Link Crew is at Pennypack Elementary School, and today we're here for Acceptance Day. And this year we're accepting food, so the kids get to draw any of their favorite culture foods or celebration foods. I did my birthday, and it's just a fun time today.
Today we're singing songs about food, we're dancing to songs about food. I'm sharing food from my culture, and the students will share with me, and we're going to dance and sing all day about food.
I learned that some people have different lives than others. Like people have different foods, different names and stuff like that.
Every single year we have different themes. We've had themes that focus on just similarities and differences. We really try to hit some hard topics during this day. And today we chose food because honestly, it started with just looking at school lunches around the world. We all eat and how food can look completely different to different children. And it's just a fun way to raise awareness about diversity.
So far we've learned about different homes around the world and how that can impact what kind of food the people who live in the homes eat. And some people don't have food, so I also learned how we can help them, and we can help the homeless, and we can help people who don't have any.
I think they learned that children around the world may not be eating the same thing as them every single day, and our lunches are very different than other countries, very culturally different.
Really starting to raise awareness about the diversity of food and appreciating the differences.
To wrap up the day, 5th graders got to run an assembly to announce a school food drive. All the food donations are being donated to Lehman's Pantry in Hatboro. Pennypack must be a trendsetter because for the first time ever, Blair Mill Elementary also held an Acceptance Day. All of Blair Mill staff came together to teach students about accepting and celebrating differences in ourselves and others.
Today is our first Acceptance Day here at Blair Mill Elementary. The day really is kind of inside of the name, which is accepting and celebrating the differences of ourselves as well as others.
What we're doing in our station is we are trying to get students to take a step back and really focus on what they're doing in the present rather than all the other stuff that's going on in their mind, whether it's something that happened at recess or home or something they're worrying about. So what we're working on is breathing techniques, so just having them focus on their breathing in order to bring themselves back to a good state of mind.
This one we have the students picking up paper clips using their pinky and their ring finger and picking them up and putting them in cups. Over there they have to do Jenga with mittens, and over there they have to throw a ball and get it into a target with their non-dominant hand.
Some people are handicapped, so they can only use a couple of fingers. So for us that can use all the fingers, we're pretty lucky, so we're trying to see how hard it is for them.
One that sticks out in my mind is the kindness rocks that they're doing in the art room. You've probably seen kindness rocks around before, but ultimately the goal is for the children to sit together in the art room, paint some rocks, and then write some positive notes of kindness and then spread them all around Blair Mill and possibly into the community.
You get to learn about people who actually don't
get to do different things that you get to do, and then you might get to help them.
Again, I know the name of the day is acceptance, but I also think it's about empathy. Do the children and us as adults, do we truly understand what it's like to put ourselves in another's shoe and feel their situation? And if our children today can get that sense, then I think we've done a great job.
I like it because I get to learn about how people aren't all the same and how people can be different and you can accept them for who they are.
The tie-dyed theme is essentially just a physical representation of different colors and therefore a representation that we're all different and we all come together to make the colors of the rainbow.
Blair Mills Acceptance Day focused on each other in the school, while at the end of the year tying everything together at their Day of Service event. Blair Mills Day of Service will focus more on the community aspect and bringing everyone together. Hatboro-Horsham Educational Foundation, or also known as HHTV, is always helping the school district with fun new ways to learn. HHTV welcomed in a famous children's author, Julia Cook. Cook went to every elementary school in the district and shared her memorable stories and taught students to become lifelong problem solvers.
Author Julia Cook came to our school today for an assembly with second and third grade, and she came and talked with another group of kids. She's coming back tonight.
We have so much stuff to teach kids and in so limited time. If you can find a cool book, you can get inside a kid's head and teach them from the inside out because they'll let you in.
One of our co-principals, Steve Glaze, wrote a grant to share her work throughout the district and to have her be able to talk with the second and third graders.
You look nice. We like to be around nice people.
And also to come for an evening program for the community, for families, to get to know her work as well. We use her books a lot in school, so it was really cool because she's someone who the kids were already familiar with, and they got to meet her and to hear her read her own stories, which was really cool.
My favorite part was that she was amazing and her cute dog. And I really enjoyed her books, her AJ books. And my favorite book of hers is AJ, You Forgot to Ask.
How much her work means to us, and meeting her was just such a treat.
In order to teach children, you have to get into their view of the world. You can't teach them from where we expect them to be. We have to teach them from where they are, what's important to them, how they see the world. And kids need to know the why. And teachers need to have more joy in their lives. Instead of strive for happiness, strive for joy.
We're here for each other, and that we have it within us to do what we need to do.
Cook has published nearly 100 books in her career. I wish I was there to see her dog Kirby and hear her read the book about her dogs. Reading books is enjoyable, but sometimes looking at pictures can be even better. Floyd Cooper, a successful award-winning illustrator, paid a visit to Hatboro-Horsham elementary schools with the help of HHTV.
Mr. Floyd Cooper is here today. He is an illustrator. He's illustrated over 100 books, award-winning. So we're excited to have him here today. Right now he's having lunch with a group of students who have a particular interest in art and illustration, and so that's really a unique experience for them to have that opportunity to share their drawings and their passion as well.
Cooper also did a presentation to 4th and 5th grade students about his career journey and showing them some of his art techniques. Thanks to Hatboro-Horsham Educational Foundation for bringing in Mr. Cooper. Art is a fun activity, but for some students, it is a passion and a home away from home. National Art Honor Society, or also known as NAHS, is a society that recognizes high school students who demonstrate an outstanding ability and interest in art. Hatboro-Horsham High School held their 20th annual induction and welcomed in their newest members.
Throughout the year, we've had new members come in. They've been spreading their reach throughout all of the community via multiple different community service opportunities. Tonight, we're recognizing them by fully making them a member of NAHS through the ceremony. There's going to be a lot of candle lighting, a lot of speeches, a lot of different opportunities for these new members to finally become part of the NAHS.
To become a member, students need to hold a 93 GPA in an art major class. Congrats to the newest members of the National Art Honor Society. We can't wait to see what work you will do for our community. Speaking of art, if you are interested in discovering your art talents, the Art Crawl could help you. The art gallery opens up during Hats to display artwork, let you make some fun art, and see all the fun. The entire school is welcome to stop by and see what art courses are offered. The art department's goal is to try and get students who normally aren't down in the art wing to explore the possibilities of new classes. You never know what you might be missing out on if you have a hidden talent in art.
So it's not only the art department, it's family and consumer sciences, it's tech ed, so we all have something for the kids to do, and just ask questions, check out student work, and hopefully make that decision to take one of our electives next year.
No, I'm no artist, but I might go and try out my drawing skills. Coding can be considered an art too, right? Hatboro-Horsham High School students in the Python programming classes created text-based video games for one of their school projects. Let's take a look.
This is the Python class, Python programming. It's usually like an intro to computer science, like right after that course. And today they're doing a text-based adventure game, which they work really hard on, about 2 weeks worth of work.
Everybody made a text-based adventure, so we chose the topic we like. So like for my topic, I chose Chicken v. Peter. So like if you ever watch Family Guy, Chicken has like a feud with the chicken. So basically I just made a game where it's like Peter would have to beat Chicken to continue.
So before I even launched this project, I said, you guys have to make it fun. It's text-based, so there's no pictures, but it's text-based, and a lot of people don't want to read things, so they had to make it somewhat funny. Use something relative, like The Office or The Simpsons. I said make it interesting, make it short, make it something they could win, and have fun with, because that's what the most successful games are.
So there's a bunch of languages out there. There's C++, there's Java, but Python is one of it's a very famous language. A lot of games have been coding it, such as like YouTube, that web browser. Google was coded in Python.
Part of the project is let someone else test your code. So when I do that with students, they really work hard on it because they know someone else is going to test their game, comment on their game, and actually grade it and rate it. So they really work hard on it.
It doesn't take a genius to learn code. It just takes some effort, and like you have to be determined to like stick with it, even though you might run into errors.
No, it was not the game. It was the game.
Without coding, computers would literally do nothing. So kudos to the coders who made our teleprompter program. HH students may make the next Google. We will just have to wait and see. In the era of digital devices, virtual reality, VR, has become a natural next step for the evolution of education. Hatboro-Horsham High School jumped on this new trend and got a VR lab right down the hall from this studio.
My favorite part of VR is that it levels the playing field for all students, right? So we had a class in here the other day and they got to visit Spain. And in the Spanish classes, there's no way, that the teachers could talk about Spain, describe it, but not all students can afford to go there. And so we could bring students in here and they could walk around the streets, they could see different sites they were learning about in class. And some students will never be able to get there. We really struggle, they would struggle to get there. So I love that we can do that.
Teachers are encouraged to come in and experiment with the VR system to see if they can incorporate it into their own lesson plans. Students can be fully immersed and interact with different elements in the VR experience. Having knowledge of VR can come in hand as many careers now use VR systems to practice medical techniques. With the help of Hatboro-Horsham Educational Foundation, 4 VR setups were purchased. Hatboro-Horsham is one of the few Pennsylvania high schools that has a VR room set up like this one. In a world today where information is abundant, reading books is one of the best ways to be informed. For those who don't enjoy reading, you might change your mind after this story.
Books can take you anywhere you want to go. For some 7th grade students, it was their goal to read for at least 15 minutes a day.
So you guys join about 80,000 students in the Delaware Valley in reading for at least 15 minutes a day, which is pretty impressive. So in honor of these reading achievements, we brought a special friend with us today.
The Philly Fanatic himself came to Keith Valley Middle School as a part of the Fanatic About Reading program.
This year, the 7th graders have been working really hard to set reading goals for themselves. So some of them have wanted to read more books than before, different types of books, and so to celebrate them reaching their goals and continuing to work towards their goals, the Fanatic is going to come here today, kind of get them excited about reading, and then talk about like his reading habits.
We actually entered a contest about reading. Some of those students read a lot and exceeded our initial goal, which is how we got the Fanatic here today. And the other thing that I will tell you is that I'm extremely proud and excited that we won this because we're also one of the only middle schools to achieve such a goal.
As being contest winners, the Philly Fanatic danced around and his favorite book was read to all.
The Philly Fanatic's best rain delay ever. I hope the storm passes quickly, Lefty. Rain delays are no fun, the Fanatic sighed.
As Lefty showed the Philly Fanatic what they can do for fun when it's raining, he discovered books can be just as fun as baseball.
But now that the rain had stopped, there was just one thing to do. Play ball, the umpire shouted. The end.
For HHTV, I'm Amanda Trevel.
I'm upset I wasn't at Keith Valley to see the big green guy myself. Guess I'll just have to go to a baseball game to catch him next time. Now it's time to toss it over to Anish Sondor for our newest segment called Sondor Spotlight. Anish.
Hello, I'm Anish Sondor, and welcome to Sondor Spotlight, a show that highlights some of the kids here at HH. And today I'm joined by Veronica Zhang, and Veronica is quite an accomplished student. She is currently top of her class, a talented pianist, and an honors student. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
All right, let's dive right into it. Other than those 3 major accomplishments, what is one accomplishment that I haven't listed?
I would say one of the proudest accomplishments I've had throughout high school is my current neurosurgery internship at Jefferson. I've honestly gained a lot through that experience. I've learned a lot about science, a lot about neuroscience, and a lot about research methods.
That's awesome. And correct me if I'm wrong, Jefferson is one of the best hospitals in the state, right?
Yeah, it usually, it mostly does the health services for Philadelphia region.
That's awesome. And Veronica, how have you grown as a person throughout your journey of hard work and success?
I think one of the most important lessons I've learned is the importance of failure, because you learn a lot through failure, and I'm able to pick myself up after failure, especially through a lot of lab experience. Experiments don't always go your way, so you're going to have to find another way to tweak your lab and figure out what's going on.
What is your funniest lab story? Do you have a funny lab story?
Yeah, well, after the summer after my freshman year, I was in China doing a lab internship over in a genetics lab over there, and the experiment I was doing was just not working. I did 10 trials, and the teachers kept on blaming it on my methodology, and I realized that one of the enzymes I was working with was denatured, so it was fun time, just working in a lab, trying to figure out my own lab.
That's great. So is biology something you want to pursue in your career in college?
Definitely. I want to major in neuroscience, and I think that's really attributed to my current internship. I really haven't had much exposure to neuroscience before last summer when I joined Jefferson, and now neurosurgery, neuroscience is so interesting to me.
And what do you like best about neuroscience?
I like it best just because the brain is really what controls us, and it's astonishing how little we know about the brain. And especially my current research project deals with Parkinson's disease patients, and it really helps seeing that we're actually making a difference in patients. We're coming up with new surgical methods to help alleviate a lot of the symptoms of Parkinson's.
Awesome. I think it's awesome that you're both pursuing a career that you like and that's going to help so many people that had that problem. All right, now we're going to do some fire round Q&As. This is quick question, quick answer. All right, go-to study snack.
Ice cream.
Favorite subject?
Biology.
Hardest subject?
AP Physics.
All right, we're going to do a scenario. Pretend that you just failed an AP Physics exam. Do you A, faint, B, hope it's a bad dream, or C, cry in a bathroom?
Hope it's a bad dream. Yes.
Same here. And that concludes this edition of Sondor Spotlight. Once again, a show that highlights some of the kids here at HH. Now back to the news desk.
Thanks, Anish. Welcome to the News You Can Use team. Can't wait to see who you will spotlight next. Now we are going to toss it over to Seth Palesic with the Hatter Sports Report. Seth?
Welcome to the Hatter Sports Report. I'm your host, Seth Palesic. Today, we will recap the winter sports season with highlights and facts about all the teams. Let's begin with the bowling teams. The boys team started this season with a 12-44 record, but had one individual who excelled on the team. Senior Bobby Elliott qualified for the regional playoffs for his outstanding play during the regular season. Good luck to Bobby as he competes in regionals. Now moving on to girls bowling, they had a slightly better season, ending with a record of 17-39. And another congratulations goes out to Tori Bone and Melanie Day for qualifying for the regional playoffs. Go get 'em, Tori and Melanie. We are rooting for you. After finishing that regular season with an incredible 8-3 record, the Lady Hatters swim team finished in second place behind Upper Dublin with a team score of 463. Catherine G won the 200-yard individual medley and the 100-yard breaststroke. Congrats to Catherine and her teammates. Now to the boys swim team. The Hatters also had a successful season. The Hatters finished overall with a record of 7-4 and finished third in the Suburban 1 Championship behind first place Upper Dublin and second place Plymouth Whitemarsh. Congratulations on a successful season. After diving into the pool, we're going to run on the track as we take a look at how the Lady Hatters track team performed this winter. Standouts include freshman Emily Simcoe, who is heading to the Meet of Champions on February 21st. Emily is looking to be in the top 6 at that meet. Good luck, Emily. In addition, the following athletes also had a great season for the Lady Hatters. Freshmen Joanne Rue, sophomores Martine Royds, Nicolette Artarian Kimber, juniors Maggie O'Neill, and seniors Brandy Calope and Sarah Palesic. On Sunday, the boys team competed at the Armory in New York City in the first annual Philadelphia Public League Invitational. The Hatters walked away with 7 medals for the day. Devin Comer came in second for the mile with a time of 4 minutes and 28.99 seconds. Stefano Isabella finished in third place with a time of 4 minutes and 25.93 seconds. Caleb Brew tied the school record of 49.36 seconds to get second in the 400 meters. Casey Savage won the long jump with 21 feet and 10.5 inches. The boys will compete at the Meet of Champions on February 21st as well. Good luck. From the track to the court, the Hatters didn't have their best season, finishing with a record of 1-21 and 0-16 in the league. Seniors Jack Marvin and Johnny Cerisier tried their hardest, but it was not to be this season. Thanks to all the seniors who worked hard this season. Better luck next year to Coach Enoch and the rest of the team. The Lady Hatters basketball team is going to the playoffs for the first time in 14 seasons. The team finished the regular season play with an 11-11 overall record, as well as finishing 7-7 in the conference. Contributing to the team's success this year was senior Cam Ryan and sophomores Emily Thomas and Alice Hall. The Lady Hatters unfortunately lost to Westchester in the first round of the playoffs. But congratulations on a terrific season. Well, that'll wrap it up for the winter sports teams. Once again, congratulations to everyone on a terrific season. In other sports news, I was privileged to have the opportunity to attend a press conference announcing the commitments of 8 athletes to play their dream sport in college. Here's my report.
On February 11th, 2020, the Hatboro-Horsham Athletic Department held a press conference announcing the college selections of 8 student athletes.
This is a day that we look forward to every year. It's a day where we get to celebrate our student athletes, and I do mean student athletes, people that get it done in the classroom and are able to go on and play Division I and Division II sports.
Varsity coaches were present and spoke about the attributes of each athlete.
Jalen is a young man that I've known for the last 4 years. He came up, he showed up every day, he put in the work, he overcame injuries, he overcame really just almost a full year away from cross country, and then came back stronger than ever.
You know, last year we had Eric and Benny, who's sitting next to him, kind of going like neck to neck, trying to figure out who was going to be our ace last year. And at the end of the year, Benny was the best pitcher in the league, no doubt about it. And the only reason that Eric wasn't right there with him was because of an injury.
The last 4 years as a freshman, she played varsity all 4 years, but she never took anything for granted. She continued to work hard, and I always said to her, Cam, hard work will pay off. You know, don't take it for granted. So for Cam, I am blessed, I am lucky, and I am so happy for you for the choices that you've decided and continue to work hard.
For Maddie, he came into our program and he had an older brother to kind of look up to. But the thing that really I like the most about him is that he became his own person. He became his own player. He outdid any of the expectations that I had for him throughout his career. He turned into a leader on and off the field for us, which is something that through our relationship we really worked on.
AJ is one of the top-ranked wrestlers in the country right now at 152 pounds, number 11 by Flow Wrestling and 13 by Track Wrestling. He's a two-time captain and holds a career record of 115-10. That 92% winning percentage is one of the best, certainly at Hatboro and statewide as well.
And Johnny and Najee, I'll talk about them both together because I think their senior year kind of mirrors each other. It's safe to say that they didn't get off to the best start, but I have to give them credit for that, being the first-year coach and them being seniors. They really didn't stick their head between their legs. They kind of decided to just kind of buckle up and put their feet on the ground and go. And we weren't going. They came back into a season that wasn't exactly very successful. But they came back in, they bought in, and to their credit, I'd have to say by the end of the year, they were playing some very high-level football.
After each coach spoke, the athletes answered a question on why they chose the college they committed to.
I chose Tiffin University for their cybersecurity degree. It's a well-thought-out program, and I really like it.
East Stroudsburg is a very good sports management program, one of the best in the East Coast, actually. So I was really excited to actually jump on board with that, and also has a great business program, which I'm minoring in.
The school gave me the best offer, and the overall coaching experience and school that I was able to go to is why I made my choice.
Early on in high school, I didn't really know exactly what I was going to do. I fell in love with soccer, but lacrosse was just my passion, and I knew I wanted to go farther with it.
I really like the school. They have a good architecture program, and that's what I want to go into. And they also have a pretty good soccer team that I'm looking forward to playing in college. So.
First off, they have a very good coaching staff over there. I really believe in what they're trying to accomplish, trying to make the wrestling team kind of like the Iowa University thing. But I also want to serve my country. I feel like that this country needs great leaders, and I feel I could become one of those great leaders.
I chose UMass because it was a good fit for me. I really like the coaches up there and the facilities. And thanks for my family. I want to give thanks to my family, helped me get here.
I chose Clarion because it's just like a good fit for me. And the DB coach has a good program he's about to set up for me, and I feel like I'll do my best there. And I fell in love with the school when I hit campus. That's why I chose it.
After answering questions, the students signed their letters of intent to their respective colleges. Congratulations to all the student athletes, and good luck next year as they pursue their dreams in college.
Congrats to all the athletes on committing to their colleges. Good luck to anyone who is also playing a spring sport. Well, now that'll wrap it up for this edition of the Hatter Sports Report. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Seth Pulesic. Now, back to Charlie.
Thanks for joining us on this edition of Newsy News. I'm your host, Charlie Schultz. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and our website, hh-tv.com. Thanks and have a great day.